Hello and welcome to this presentation of Excel2Sage for charities. My name is Ara Martirossian and I'm going to show you how easy it is to import donations from Excel into Sage 50 with just one click. So what's Excel2Sage? This is a very powerful import utility which allows you to bring in all sorts of stuff into Sage from external sources, anything from EPOS to web shops to billing systems, EDI orders, even applications on iPads and iPhones. All sorts of data sources can be catered for. The one that I'm going to look at today is just an Excel spreadsheet, something like a bank statement download, but you could use a CSV or an XML file, even databases like SQL and or things like PDFs. So what can you import? Well, this very much depends on the version of Sage that you have, but it's not just master records like customers and suppliers, but day-to-day transactions like sales orders, purchase orders, invoices, and so on. The one we're going to look at today are creation of funds, customers, and donations. These all are going to be set up in an Excel spreadsheet, and we'll bring all of those in with just one click. So let's have a look at the transactions. So let's go into Sage first, and as you can see I've got a blank system here without customers in it or without any funds in it. So nice and simple. And what I want to do is I want to import the following transactions. So what I want to do is import some funds, and I want to import some customers, and then finally the donations. Now, just to give you an overview of what these are, the tabs at the bottom show you what the transaction that's going to be imported is, and the columns detail what's in the data rows. So for example here the red ones are mandatory in Sage, so you've got to have those. The yellow ones are optional. So in this particular case what I've got is I'm going to be setting up these particular donations. The donations are coming from these particular customers, so I'm going to set those up, and there are loads of columns here that you can fill in, which would be the normal columns you would fit in manually on Sage 50. Okay, so that's that. So let's go and have a look at this. So I've got the funds over here, and I've got about 100 odd donations that I've just downloaded from a bank. Okay, so that's fine. So let's close that off. And now let's go and have a look at Excel2Sage connector. So the first thing I'm going to do is just create a new log file so that we can see what's coming in. And the way Excel2Sage works is that it can import things into any Sage company, and in this particular case I've got 4 test companies that I'm using. The one I'm going to go to is the Red IT Charity Test Company. So the first thing I'm going to do is just log on to the company, and there it is. It's now logged into the test company, which I've got open in the background. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to import funds first. So there you go. If I click on that, off it goes, and it's now finished importing them. And in the log file it will show me that those 2 funds have been created. Right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and import those 50 customers. So click on that, off it goes. Yep, it's now created those customers. So let's go into the log file, and there we go. These are all the customers that have been done. And finally let's go and import those 100 donations that I downloaded from my bank. So all I do is then click onto the donations, and off it goes. It looks at that tab and it's now imported 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Well, in fact there's more than 100. Look at the log file, and there we are. So those have all now been done. So let's go and look at all of this stuff in Sage. So I'll disconnect from Sage, Excel2Sage. The first thing I'll do is I'll go and just double check on the funds, and yep, I can see those funds are there. We'll come and have a look at those in a second. And if I looked at one of those, I can then have a look at the activity, and there we are. Those are all the donations that have just been imported into Fund 1. And if I look at Fund 2, which is a restricted one, and looked at the activities on that, these are all the donations that have gone in on that fund. So that's looking pretty good. And if I went and had a look at my customers, let's have a look at the customer list and just refresh that. There we are. And if I looked at A1 Designs and looked at the activity on that, I can see that from my bank statement they actually made 3 donations, and it has immediately imported those in, both as sales invoice and the matching donation to go with it. So with just one click, I've updated not just the customers, but also the funds at the same time, and the receipts and the matching. Very easy, very quick. So, in summary, Excel2Sage is very quick and cost effective. Incredibly easy to set up. You can just download it from the website and be up and running within 10 or 15 minutes. Obviously less errors because you're not going to be rekeying things in. It's all coming in from the Excel spreadsheet. And we also have the ability to change it pretty easily, and there are various add-ons available, so please let us know if you've got some specific requirements, and we will discuss your requirements and let you know how we could solve that. And obviously it makes processes a lot more efficient. So thank you very much for your time and interest in Excel2Sage for Charities. My name is Ara Martirossian, and please feel free to email me your queries, and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.